Dashakam 92. Dashakam 92, Karma Mishra Bhakti. Dashakam 91, we saw how Bhattacharya describes about Bhakti, which should develop towards a Lord. Bhakti Mahatvam, significance of Bhakti. But now next, Bhakti alone is not enough. Karma Mishra Bhakti. Karma is something which is a part of each one of our lives, and Bhattacharya also agrees. He says that now for all of us who are there here, we have to do some or the other karma, right? Even if you don't wish, some or the other action every minute we have to do. All our lives are full of it. So whatever karma that we do, that should be full of bhakti. Like you offer someone a glass of water, that also we should do willingly. Or maybe someone comes to our house, we offer them something to eat, drink, or so. We must do that happily, as if Atiti Devo Bhava, like we say. So if the Lord Himself has come to my house, let me offer. Instead of maybe cursing them or telling, oh, someone has come, I have to do this, I have to do that. Instead of having this mentality, if we do whatever our karma, let it be our everyday karma that we do with total bhakti and devotion towards it. Like even say 1 hour class also is there. So then, oh, 1 hour in the morning I have to get up and join in. Instead of this, if we do the same action, okay, today 1 hour, let me learn something, let me chant the names of the Lord and start my day. So therefore, small one, two examples I gave you. The way of looking at things is what ultimately matters. That's what Bhattacharya says, saying that though I have spoken about bhakti that is there, but karma is something, action is something which is very, very important, and that is a part of everyone's life, not only human beings life, even other creatures also. It's just that in the case of human beings, our actions have an impact. Even in the case of creatures also, it is the same thing. But for us, the rules of karma are there. So what he says, vedai sarvani karma, he says that there are different rituals that are described in the Vedas. I will perform all the rituals that I know I do as a surrender to you, O Lord, so that I can be free from all these actions. Now, may I, Vedai Nishiddhe, may I not do any such ritual or action which has been forbidden by the Vedas. Whatever the Vedas have told us, Vedaha Parama Pramanaha, that is whatever our knowledge scriptures have told us, let me always be able to follow that. Now, many a times it happens that we are not able to follow something, that is one thing, that is still okay, but few of us have a very, maybe not one amongst us, but there are few who tend to change the same thing completely. That should not happen. You are not able to do something, that is fine, you don't do anything, but for as per our convenience we cannot change things, right? So little here or there, we have something called Yuga Dharmam also. As times change, there can be certain differences, that is still okay. But changing the thing completely and putting our own thoughts into it and no, you do it this way also, that doesn't happen, right? So therefore, there are certain rules which are to be followed. So therefore, Bhattatri says that let me always be on the right path only. And still, if I do some action, like in the case of all of us also, sometimes it happens that knowingly, unknowingly, we might do some wrong action, or maybe we might do things as per our convenience also. So if I do this, let that also be as a surrender to you only, O Lord. Further, he says that as per Agama Shastram, we have the different texts, Tantras, Agamas, Itihasas, Puranas. Like this, we have Agama Shastras that are there, which describe about various rituals that are to be done. That is the various puja adi karmas that we do. Maybe lighting a lamp or putting a rangoli, offering flowers. Like this, for different occasions, we do different rituals. Like the Kurma Purana, just giving you an example, it describes about various rituals that are to be done on various tithis. Now, for us, most popularly, maybe we follow Ekadashi also, but for every tithi that is there, Navami, Dashami, and so on, all through the year, all through the months that are there, there are certain rules or certain ways of rituals and worship that is to be followed. So all this is described in detail in the Agama Shastras. So like it is being described there, Bhattatri says, let me worship you every day. You are a pure form, sattvika form, and like various bhakvapi va bhavayitva drishadi hridi mridi, in my heart, let me worship you or let me think about you like an idol, like all of us do, right? Hridi mridi, meaning mridi is mud, clay. So usually now when I say Krishna, the thing that comes to all of our mind is maybe a picture of Krishna that you have in your house, or maybe an idol of Krishna, right? This is Agama Shastram, idol worship. This is how we worship the Lord. Or maybe you go to the temple, you would have seen the Lord also. how that image comes to our mind, right? None of us, we have seen the Lord in front of us. But if I tell the word Krishna, Rama, Ganesha, whatever it is, you have a picture of the Lord that comes to your mind or heart. So like this, Bhattatri also says, whenever your names are there or whenever I'm doing worship to you, let me remember this form. Further, let me worship you as per Shaktitaha Bhakti Putaihi, as per my own capacity. Let me worship you with offerings also. Pushpa Gandha Naivedyaha, like all of us do, with flowers, Gandham, Naivedyam, and so on. Let me perform worship devotedly and thus let me seek your grace. Further, Bhattatri says that many times it is said, Stri Shudra Tvat Kathadi. Many times it is said that women or maybe other people also in the society, at times they are told that you should not listen to the names of the Lord, listen to the glories also, like what we see in the society, right? But of course, no doubt that is not true. For listening to the names of the Lord, chanting also, there is no such uh, restrictions that are there. Of course, for certain things, there are certain rules that are to be followed, and for that, there are different reasons behind it. Without knowing the reason, we must not simply sit and question. But again, for doing bhakti or for chanting the names of the Lord, there is no restrictions at all. We have so many examples for that, starting from Shabri herself, right? Shabri Devi, whom Rama meets, she had only one thing in her mind: ultimate surrender and bhakti towards the Lord. So therefore, Bhattatri says that for certain people we have certain restrictions also. But what about those so-called high-class people? They've got all the opportunities, everything is there, but still they don't do your bhakti. What to talk about them? So here Bhattatri, why he mentions this is he is suffering from a disease. He's not being able to even sit properly. He's not able to move his limbs. And then there are many others who are all fit, right? But still they are not coming to maybe the temple of Guruvayur, they are not coming to worship the Lord also. So here Bhattatri feels a bit sad that when things are all fine, nobody comes. Or when people get an opportunity, people don't have the value for it. But for others like me who are suffering, or for few others who are prohibited from doing things, for them, oh Lord, you don't do anything. So like this, Bhattatri just thinks and he feels sad also. And he says that there are so many who have all the means of worshipping you, but still they don't do that. This is nothing but karma only. Like you have always stated in various teachings also, there have been various instruct. Now here Bhattatri is telling the Lord that in various teachings like the Puranas, scriptures, or all these Agama Shastras, there are various ways in which how rituals should be done is mentioned in detail. Everyone should follow that. Moreover, what some people do is they end up like the various yaga sacrifices that do. People do it just for money making also. So I pray to the Lord that ma krithamam, tadrisham ma krithamam, do not make me like them. Here Bhattatri is very clear. He tells the Lord what or how he should become. At the same time, how he should not be made. That also he tells to the Lord. So he is very much clear in what he tells. Further, he tells that the world will laugh out at people who are devoted to you, and what they will always say is papoyam Krishna Rama iti abhilapati. They will say that papoyam, he is a wicked fellow or a sinful fellow who always keeps chanting the name of Krishna and Rama. Like this, also you don't have to make tadrishamma kritama, because I want to always be a devotee of you who's always humbled. I don't want anything. I don't want to prove to the world also. At the same time, all such claims, even if the outside world makes, I should not be affected by that. Now, somewhat, if you see such things that are there, it through this we understand that it was there in the then society also, in today's times also we see. Not only for bhakti, in general, if we do something, you do one thing good, 10 people are there to poke fingers at us. If you do one thing, there will be one person who praises you, but at the same time 10 people might speak evil about the same. That should not make an impact on what I do. This is what Bhattatri prays. Here he says that in the name of bhakti also, when I worship you, there will be people who taunt me also on. Therefore, I should not be affected by that. At the same time, please don't make me like one like them. Further, he says, Shvetachayam krite tvam, verse number 5. In the Krita Yuga, that is in the Satya Yugam, people used to worship the Lord in the form of sacrifices also, like a very white color, Shvetaha, a white color form of the Lord. Further, in the Treta Yugam, during the Rama Avataram times, Now here, Satya Yugam, people used to do meditation. That was a form of worship. Treta Yugam, people used to do various sacrifices or so. That's how we see how Rama, he protected the sacrifices of so many sages. There, the Lord was in the form of yajna, that is sacrifice himself. He was red, right? Red color, Arunatanum, with a red body. Further in the Dwapara Yugam, there were a lot of rites and rituals that had to be done. So the Lord was in a blue color form, bluish complexion. Krishna himself was there. Dwapare Shyamalangam. Finally, in the Kali Yugam, what happened is people have to chant your names. Ihakali samaye manusha tvam bhajante. People are worshipping you by chanting your names. Here you have attained a blue complexion. Blue, when I say dark blue complexion, that is there. So there in Dwapara Yugam it was light blue. You can consider. Here in Kali Yugam it has become dark blue. So this is how the Lord's colors also changes. Bhattatri says. Further, he says that may this Kali Yuga be always victorious. Let everyone keep chanting your names. Let everyone keep listening to your glories. Let your grace be showered on everyone. And further, what he says is Jata Treta Kritadau Apihi Kilakalau. Those who are born in Satya Treta and Dwapara Yugam, let them be born again in Kali Yugam. Why does Bhattatri says? Because in Kali Yugam, the least that needs to be done is chanting the names of the Lord. In the other three yugas, this good fortune was not easily available because people were doing meditation, sacrifices, rituals also. But in the Kali Yugam, everyone gets a chance to chant the names of the Lord, listen to his glories also. May I be born, I am already born, like me, let many others be born, so that they will be showered with your grace by chanting your names. And therefore, O Lord, we are born in Kali, Sambhavam Kamayante. But let us not be affected by the so-called so many sensuous, you can consider pleasures also. That is all there, no doubt. But at the same time, bhakti should develop towards you. Now that we are born in Kali, you have showered your highest grace on us. Let we all always chant your names. Further, Dashakam, sorry, verse number 7, what he says is, in the Kali Yugam, what happened is, Bhaktastavat Kalausyur Dramilabu Vitato. Devotees in the Kali Yuga mostly will be in the Dravida Desham, that is in Dakshina Bharatam today, in the regions of Kaveri, Tamraparani and Kritamala, he says. There the devotees will be more, just as Bhakti Devi, Dravida Deshe Utpanna, just as in Dakshina Bharatam, how Bhakti Devi comes in and further she slowly moves on to Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat also. That's how similarly in Dravida Desham also let lot of devotees will be present. Of course, this doesn't mean that devotees are not there in other parts of India. Bhattatri gives a reference here and how Bhakti movement also or how Bhakti spread about. To give a reference to that, he gives this example. And Bhattatri says that I am too born in this region. Now Bhattatri also was born in Dravida Desham. That might be one reason why he has explained about this land more. And therefore, he says that I too have some devotion built up in me. Please ensure that I'm always like this only. I'm not bound by the ropes of desire or so. And at the same time, please make my bhakti towards you complete. Otherwise, what will happen is today I have bhakti, tomorrow my mind changes. Sadbuddhi, satsangam, very, very important here, but three highlights on the same thing. Now, here, first verse number 8, he talks about the story of Parikshit. He gives a reference. He says, just as once Parikshit, what happened is he saw Kali, who's enemy of Dharma, right? Kali Purusha came in, but Parikshit removed his sword also in order to kill Kali, but he did not kill Kali because Kali is the one who ultimately knows the truth. And at the same time, Kali has got some good features also. What is a good feature? Namasankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam. In the Kali Yugam, chanting the names of the Lord leads to mukti, therefore, and also the results are also given very soon. Therefore, Kali also is afraid of those devotees who keep chanting the names of the Lord, and therefore, Bhakti also builds in such devotees. That's the reason Parikshit says that Parikshit also did not kill Kali. Further, Ganga Gita Chagayatraya Picha. Here in the Kali Yugam, what people further do is they take a dip in the Ganga, they chant the Gita, the Gayatri Mantra, Tulsika, that is the Tulsi Patram, they worship or they offer to the Lord. Gopi Chandanam is applied, Salagramam is worshipped, Ekadashi fasting is done, chanting of your names is done. So, therefore, a lot of good things are being done. And when these eight are done, etani ashta api, the sages also say that these are all effortless means of bhakti. Immediately you'll be blessed with the Lord. May I also, Teshumam sajjayethaha, may I also be completely devoted to these eight factors. Finally, Bhattatri concludes his Dashakam by saying, whosoever takes refuge in you, whosoever surrenders to you completely, abandoning all other actions, they will always be blessed by you. And even if they have done some wrongdoings also, they will be forgiven by you, O Lord of Guruvayur. All my sufferings that I've got today, that me papa uttatapan, are due to my sins. You please remove all those sufferings and build up bhakti in me. With this, Dashakam 792 comes to an end. Could everyone follow? Yes? Just hold on one. Let's continue Dashakam 93. Yeah. Dashakam 93 talks about the Chaturvimshati Guruhu as told, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam also, the 21 Gurus as told by Datta Bhagavan. And the same is described by Bhattatri also. Karma Mishra Bhakti, he after that he continues and says that my mind should always be devoted to you and so on. I will wander here and there. Of course, now it is the material world that is there, so obviously there are going to be distractions like it happens for all of us, right? Though we all have bhakti, this and that, there's not a single moment when we are not distracted. When now also, if I'm speaking, if all of you are listening, we are all distracted somewhere. Someone is calling us or some thoughts are there and so on. So this is but natural. And at the same time, it is also life is full of maya and illusion also. Look at something, I might feel it is true, maybe I go near it, I realize no, it is nothing like that exists. So therefore Bhattatri says I should not be affected much by this maya. It will be there, no doubt, but I should be able to overcome that also. Now further, you please bless me with the right discrimination power, which we have already seen before, good and bad, so that I'm not affected by this maya. For in verse number 2, he says, Kshatrashnalobhamatre satatakritadiyo jantava santyanantas tebhyo vijnanavatvat purusha ihavaras tajjanir nirdurlabhaiva. He says, now there are many beings in this world who are born just to eat, drink, sleep, repeat. But I, that or we, bhaktas who are born as human beings, we are quite superior because we are being blessed with a discriminative mind. We know what is good, what is bad. Therefore, our minds should be absorbed in you. Bhakti should develop in our mind so that we will be free from sorrow. All this also should happen only through your grace. To you please shower my grace up to me. Further, he says that when your grace showers on a person, there is nothing in this world which will stop him, right, from growing or so. So Bhattatri starts here. Chaturvimshati Guravaha, from here he starts. भूमन् सर्वाक्रान्ता अपि भूमिः न हि चलति तत्क्षमां शिक्षयेयम्. From Bhumi Devi, let me learn the quality of forbearance, or to be patient and not be affected at all. That is just as Bhumi Devi or Prithvi, she does not move despite so many people oppressing her, causing trouble to her, jumping here and there, digging the ground so much, what not we do, but still Bhumi Devi remains the same. Just similarly, I should not be affected by the external Maya that is there. I should be as I am. Similarly, the air also, it comes in contact with what not, dust particles, so much of, you can say, dirt, this, that, so much of pollution that is there. But in spite of all that, it keeps flowing, right? It keeps blowing here and there. So I should learn non-attachment from the air. Non-attachment basically is to be free from over-attachment. So therefore, about the earth and air he describes here. Further, he talks about sky also. Just as sky that is there is so open, right? It's open to whatever comes in, it accepts. So like that, Bhattatri here he says, just as the sky is one that is unaffected. How much ever you look at the sky, you cannot make out, oh, it is so big from year to year. Can we see both the ends of the sky? We cannot. So it is that open-minded also, and everything comes in the sky, we are not affected by that. The sky is also not affected. Similarly, I should be, I should develop that nature, that the nature of my Atma that is there. should be all pervasive. All pervasive in the sense I should be able to take up everything. The sky has got everything in it, right? It covers the entire world, but at the same time, it remains where it is. It's not affected. Okay, someone comes and tells me something, so I change. That should not happen. Things that are good, you can apply that. So there will be good and bad things which come in our life, but to what level it should have an impact on us, that is completely in our hands, like the sky does. So Bhattacharya in verse number 3, he tells that these are the few things which I learned from the earth, sky and air. Further he says that may I always be clean and pure as water. Let anything come in. Water might get polluted, right? But at the same time, it is clear, it is transparent, nothing happens to water. And water that is there, how much ever we drink all other drinks, juices, or so, at times when we feel thirsty, water is that which satisfies us. So, therefore, let me always be pure and sweet like water. Just as fire is all consuming, but at the same time, it is not affected by, you can say, any what to say, like for example, why do we boil food also? So that all the impurities that are there, it goes away, right? So fire, it consumes everything, but it is not affected by the impurities that are there. Similarly, I will also, like the sky, whatever comes in my way, let me consume all that, but I should not be affected by the impurities or evil things, defects that are there here and there. Similarly, by your grace, I should always be able to realize the fellow people. I should be able to realize your ultimate form. At the same time, I should be able to realize the fellow people and bhaktas who are there. I should be able to learn many other things from them too. Further, he says that may I not be like the pigeon who was hunted or who was killed by the hunter. Now, what happened is, as we know the popular story, the hunter puts his net, the pigeon's young ones go there, and due to over attachment, it sees that its young ones are caught there. Instead of thinking of a way to save itself and its young ones, what it does is it also goes and falls in that trap. So ultimately, all of them, they die together. The pigeon, they are caught together, the pigeon and its offsprings. So may I not be like that pigeon wherein I cause trouble to myself as well as to my offsprings. Like the python, what I learned from the python, Bhattacharya says that's a big snake. Whatever is available, may I satisfy myself with that. Like the python is known to eat whatever is available, and at the same time, when nothing is available, it remains hungry. Similarly, let me also satisfy myself with whatever is available. Few days, uh, with the Lord's grace, most of us, we are not having such problems. Also, we are blessed with food on our plates. But at the same time, there can be days also wherein maybe what we wish that we do not get. So may I be satisfied with what I have. Similarly, let me not fall to prey to lust also around me, or maybe over distractions, over desires, like a moth who falls into fire. A moth, it knows that if I go near fire, I'll burn, but still every time it keeps going near that. Similarly, towards lust, distractions, all other evils, if I keep going, I know I'll fall in that trap, but still continuously I keep going near it again and again, it will cause trouble to me. Further, like the honeybee, let me seek the essence of things, like it sucks out honey. Similarly, let me also suck out the essence of things, the good things or the good uh, learnings that are there from people and things around. Let me suck that and leave aside whatever remains. That is the honeybee. If you see, it sucks the honey, and then the remaining part that is there, that is waste. It remains as it is there. So let me also do that only. Let me take the good things from everyone around. Further, he says that just as a female elephant at times it makes captive a male elephant, that way I should also not fall a captive also to fellow people around me who might try to make a fool of me. Let me not earn wealth in plenty, because the minute I earn wealth in plenty, I cannot sleep even one night's sleep peacefully. Or even if wealth is there in plenty, it should be there to fulfill my needs also to some extent, of course, to a comfortable life that is there, but not, it should not go overboard, otherwise I'll be caught in that trap only. Similarly, let me not be attracted like a deer is attracted by music. So let me not be attracted by sweet words. Some people, what they do is they'll speak very nicely, we get caught in that trap, like a deer is caught by music. So music is being played by the hunter, it goes in that direction, its horns get trapped there. Similarly, may I not be attached to food that is there, like a fish. For a fish, for a fisherman, you see, he has a the fishing net in that magnet also. We'll put that in water, the fish will get attracted to that small piece of food, and that's how it gets caught. Similarly, I should not be overly attached to food. Like Pingalavat Nirashaha Supyam. I should always have a good night's sleep. Further, may I not be killed by others also, like a bird that is there. It's called the Kurara bird. So this Kurara bird's story is Kurara iva bibo samishaf anyaina hanyai. Like others, like this Kurara bird, what it does is it was told to guard a piece of meat also, and in the end it gets killed. So similarly, I should not be told to do such things also wherein I be killed for things for which directly I'm not responsible, but I should not fall into this trap at all. Similarly, I should be very happy like a child also. I should not be affected. Like a child, for a minute it is happy, or for a minute it cries, the next minute it forgets why it's happy, why it was crying, right? Similarly, I should also have developed these qualities. I should like let me take up both honor, dishonor, happiness, sorrow, everything in the same manner. Let me not be overly affected by things, and let me move about like a single bangle on a woman's wrist. That is, let me not be affected. Oh, I need someone always. If they are not there, my life turns upside down. That should not happen. Similarly, satsangam is also important. So people come my way, it's okay. Otherwise, I should live all alone. Live all alone, you can say, or I should be happy with my own company. Yes, Padmavati ji, unmute. Huh. Single bangle on a wrist, maiden's wrist. Bangle. Now you see when you put many bangles together in your hand, it starts making noise, right? This is what happens when 10 people come together. No doubt satsangam is important, but 10 people will have 10 different opinions. It might cause trouble. And when bangles keep, glass bangles, if you see, a lot of bangles are there, they'll keep hitting each other, it ends up breaking also, right? Therefore, moreover, single bangle that is there at times is very much happy. So therefore, may my mind always be absorbed in you, he says, and at the same time, may I live like a yogi also, aniketaha. May I live in houses that are temporary. That is so that I'm not attached at all. So why all these descriptions are being told is because so that Bhattacharya tells that from nature around only, let I have so many things to learn. Oh Lord, may I learn all these things from the nature and at the same time develop bhakti towards you. Okay, we have seen till verse number 7 of Dashakam 93. Now, today time is not there, so we will stop here. In the next, that is on Thursday when we meet, we will continue. Yeah. Okay. So, Dashakam 93 that we were looking at, it talks about the Chaturvimshati Guravaha, the 24 gurus whom Bhattatri looks up to, and from many he tries to learn some or the other thing. That is just as elephant that is there, it gets attracted or it is captivated by a female elephant also, and then it loses its path. Similarly, let me also not earn wealth also in plenty, let me also not get distracted on the wrong path. Further, a bird which is there, it's called the Kurara bird, it's a category of birds, and I should, here Bhattatri says that Kurara, this bird that was there, it usually no, it carries meat, meat, meat in its beak, and in the end, it protects the meat nicely and it goes about. But in the end, it seems that the Kurara bird only is being killed. That is, the point is because it does a wrongdoing or so, or because maybe it is carrying or guarding the meat that is there, the hunter or someone, he ends up killing the bird only. So the point is, let me not go on the wrong path also, and for the sake of doing wrong things, I myself should not suffer. Further, like a deer also, deer, you see, they have those big horns, right? So sometimes what happens is a hunter who is there, in order to catch the deer, he will play some music so that the deer gets attracted to the sound. Similarly, oh Lord, I should not get attracted or distracted by so many distractions around. My mind should always surrender to your feet so that I will not fall into all such traps. I will not be attracted by sweet words, sweet music also, and then that ultimately should not cause me danger. Further, he says that I want to live very happily like a child. Like a child, now Small children, we know, they might be sad, they might be crying for a minute, for 1 minute, the next minute they forget, the child will start laughing. So that is, the child actually forgets what happens a minute back. But for elders like us, it becomes very difficult, right? 50 years back someone told me something, I remember that till date, I will not talk to him till date. But we have to learn to let go. That doesn't mean that we forget each and everything and no accept all the wrongdoings, but small things that are there we should let go. Life is full of ups and downs, right? If today something makes me happy, the same thing can make someone sad also. So therefore life is full of difficulties as well as happiness. It's just the way we look at things. So Bhattatri here prays to Lord Guruvayurappan that I should always be happy, and like a child also, I should not be affected. Let things come and go. This minute I'm happy, next minute I might be sad. This is how life is. Now for this, Guruvayurappan only, he gives an example. And in some, of course it's not related to this Dashakam, but he gives an instance wherein various Krishna Leela stories also it is there, wherein a devotee, when he questions the Lord tells that, the devotee questions, why is my life only full of problems also, and look at someone else's life. Now this happens with all of us, right? When we look at someone else, we feel that no, their life is very nice. Does it happen with all of you? We look at someone else, we feel no, only my life is full of problems, but they are very happy. Do all of you feel this or no? At some point, we do feel, right? I am only suffering in this world. Nobody feels. We feel, right? Yes. This is human tendency. All of us we feel. I might also feel. Now, say for example, let's take our own class, right? Now, I might feel that, oh, see how all these people are so lucky, right? I just have to tell there's a class. You join in whatever I tell, they have to chant also, right? For me, oh, I have to put in efforts. I have to tell you what I have to teach. Now, if I am telling you 1 hour, I have to speak on something. I have to find out what I have to speak, this and that. You look at these people, they're so happy. They have to just join in for 1 hour, just listen. Anyways, it's an online medium also. Someone connects, you're sitting nicely, you're listening. This is my point of view. But from your side, I'm just giving you an example. From your side, if you think, you might feel, oh, see, her life is so nice. She comes, she teaches us something, she tells us, you do this, you do that. If we don't chant properly, she will tell us for that too. If we don't practice well, if our name is called out, if I don't unmute and chant again, she might not call my name again. Or if she calls also, if I chant something wrong, what? Right? So this is your worry. So then you feel, oh, I should be on the other side also. My life is full of worries. So I'm just giving you our example that is there. But for everyone, it is some or the other thing that happens. From our fellow human beings, what we feel is sometimes it happens in our own family members that is there. I am very much sad, but my son is very happy. So this tendency that is there, Bhattatri says that I should not develop this at all. And coming back to that story of the devotee, he questions a lot that why is my life full of problems? I'm not doing anything wrong, but still you're throwing so many problems at me. Ultimately, if you want to bless everyone with happiness, sukha, or so, you give everyone happiness, right? Why? What was the need of putting in some sorrow? That's when the Lord gives an answer saying that you human beings are very much smart. We are smart in which way? If I give you something, if I give you a finger, you will end up pulling the whole hand. The meaning is, if I keep on giving you happiness, you will lose value for that thing. Therefore, in between, some sorrows, some troubles, some problems should keep coming so that you understand the value, or so that you value life itself, so that you value happiness. Otherwise, if everything is going on well, then I'll stop behaving. Anyways, my life is full of happiness and sukha that is there. Why should I even put in efforts? And then there is no value for things that we have easily. Now, all of us, we know in our own lives so many things. Now, food also, for us, we don't have much value, but maybe for a roadside beggar or so, one time he gets food, that is a big treasure for him. So this is just because we have things that we don't value. So therefore the Lord tells, this is human tendency, we cannot change this human nature. Therefore I must give you some problems, sorrows also, so that you get that tinge, that you start valuing things, you put in efforts to come on the right track. This is one thing. And no doubt karma that is there. So life, our own karma that we do. Now, karma also, some people here, of course, maybe it's not directly related, but because it's related to karma mishra bhakti, because it's Chaturvimshati Guravaha. But just one minute. So many times what it happens is, what was I saying? Somewhere, where was I? Karma. Ah, Now, when we talk about karma, also, many of us we have a doubt at what karma and all, what I did in my previous janma, why I have to talk now, what is all this karma? I don't even remember. A very simple example for this: you take the example of this own janma. Now, today, all of us have put in efforts. Most of us. Let's take the example of Narayaneeyam only. All of us we are chanting Narayaneeyam today. If I say that okay, I have learned all the 100 Dashakams, I'm chanting all the 100 Dashakams. No doubt the Lord's grace is there. And also our own karma. You've done some karma, right? Some action maybe for the last 1 year, 2 years or so. You have put in efforts to learn that 100 Dashakams. That's the reason. That was your karma. Now the phalan that you get the phalam that is, I'm able to chant Narayanam now. If that karma is not there, you will not get the phalam. This is this karmic cycle that is there. Not only for this birth, across births, for janmas also it is the same thing. Same thing if I do some wrongdoing also, obviously I'm going to get the result of that too. I do good, I'll get good. You do bad, you're definitely going to get bad. But only thing is it is across janmas. Just because I don't remember what happened in my previous birth, that doesn't mean that I can escape. Things are not temporary at all. One simple example, we do so many kinds of investments, right? Just because a person dies also doesn't mean that investment stops. You put it on, you write it to your next generation or to someone, this, that, and so on, right? This is the same for the karmic cycle also. Nobody can escape from it. So therefore, Bhattatri says that my mind that is there should always be focused on you. Let me be able to face all problems and good things also that come in my life. Similarly, I should be like a single bangle that is there on a woman's hand. The reason is when too many things come together, life becomes again full of distractions. Therefore, all alone also I should be able to survive. And that is basically to be that doesn't mean that we give up on our own relations also, but to be free from all kinds of distractions. My mind should always be absorbed in you, O Lord. And at the same time, let me not be attached to houses also. Let me live in ahihi even ivasani unduruhu mandireshu. Just as snakes that are there, they will never build a house for themselves. They will keep on living in various ant hills, rat holes also. That is how snakes nature is. Reason is they don't get attached to anything. Similarly, now we live in one place, we live with the same people around us, we live with our same things, automatically attachment grows. So to be free from attachment, aniketa sthiramatihi bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Just as Krishna highlights in the Gita chapter 12, aniketa meaning, that doesn't mean that one who is homeless also. Meaning is I should be able to live like a yogi. That is point is now that in most of us, all of us, we have a roof over our heads. Point is we should be able to adjust wherever I go. Tomorrow someone tells you have to go and live there or live here. It should happen. No, I'll sleep only in my bed, I'll sleep only in my room, I'll sleep only in my pillow. Also, if you start speaking, the life will not be able. Then you have to live in your own house in the four corners, around the four walls. That doesn't happen always. Life is full of adjustments, but three, praise to the Lord that I should be blessed and there should be no sense of attachment also. Further, he tells that a spider that is there gives me a very, very important lesson, that is, the entire universe is created and ultimately from the Lord, and it gets absorbed also into the Lord. Just as a spider, it builds its web, right? For it, its entire universe is that web, and it will also live inside that web only. So the creator of that web is also the spider. In the end, it will get absorbed also in that web only. So the Lord is now not different from who's the creator, who's the destroyer. Also, everything ultimately comes from you and ultimately should get absorbed in you also. This quality I learned from the spider. Then further from the beetle, that is an insect also I get to learn many things. Kuruta iti dridham. Dridham is I should be very much firm in my meditation. Now, how from a beetle or an insect you can consider this way, that is just as they are very much focused, so in that manner you can consider that meditation also should be done on the Lord. And further he tells that this realization should come slowly, that this body that is there, too much if I keep focusing on it, life is nothing but full of ashes. Ultimately, our body that is there, you burn it, it's nothing but ashes, right? For so much that we took care of it. But what people remember is the qualities that we have. So that doesn't mean that we don't take care of our body, but not too much. Over. excess of anything is bad. Again, Bhattacharya says that let me again, from getting aside from all these distractions also, let my focus be fully upon you, O Lord. Thus all my diseases. Anyways, and for Bhattacharya, he has to speak about his body. Why so? Because his body is only causing him harm, right? He's suffering from the disease. He tells, what is this body? This body is giving me only diseases or so full of sufferings. Therefore, you please bless me. You free me from this disease so that I can focus on bhakti. And he tells that you, even though now you don't want to take my disease away, at least you remove this attachment that I have towards my body, right? That is this pain or so. You at least take that away. Or this attachment that give me that power to serve. You can say, give me the power to bear the illness that has come upon me so that my focus will not be there. Give a simple example again. You have a small head pain or maybe a headache, or even one side sometimes you see nose gets blocked. You get irritated, right? It's not a great deal. Head is aching. One says no. You feel as if there is a cold or so. Sometimes some find this is at least okay. A small illness you can consider. Few days you see sometimes you don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like sitting. You don't feel like standing. Someone asks what happened. You say no, nothing. But I'm not feeling like doing anything. This is also a big problem. One day of our lives we waste, right? Now, I'm not feeling like doing anything today. I'm feeling very tired. This is our life that is there. And then what to talk? So during these times also, we cannot focus upon anything. Bhattacharya tells that. So imagine Bhattacharya state, he is suffering from such a grave disease. So he tells that you please remove all this. It's not that I'm trying to be selfish and telling you that you could remove my disease also. The reason why I'm telling you to free me from my disease is so that my mind is focused on you and so that I can focus myself on other activities that can be done rather than just telling my body is paining, body is aching, and so on. And because of you, what happened is, O Lord of Gurvayur, Bhattacharya says in verse number 9, Dashakam 93, he tells because of love for one's own body, it goes about here and there, one's house, one's wealth, my wife, my attachments, this, that. And during all this, what happens is, Kwapi natat padabje. Nobody remembers you, O Lord. That is, even for us also, whenever sufferings come, at that time we remember the Lord, right? Oh, today life is full of sufferings, I will do something. This is again human tendency, but Bhattacharya says that it should not happen. We should be able to remember you always. This thought also you should give. But for this body or for this all these attachments that are there, so much that I do, in the end, what is going to happen is sa ayam vanhe shunaha va. What is the meaning of this? Anyone can tell? Vanhe or shunaha va? No? Verse number 9. सोऽयं वन्ने शृणो वा परमिह परत साम्प्रतं चाक्षिकर्ण त्वग्जिह्वाद्या विकर्षन्त्यवशमत इत कोऽपि न त्वत्पदाब्जे. Soyam vanne shunova, meaning Bhattacharya says ultimately in the end what is going to happen is this body is going to be fit for vanhe, fire. In our tradition it is fire, in few it is going to be shunaha, for the dogs only. That is ultimately someone is going to come and consume our flesh. For this we are putting in so much efforts. Instead, let me focus my mind on, or let me surrender myself on your lotus feet also. And even now he says that while I'm very much alive, forget about after death, while I'm very much alive also, my mind is getting dragged here and there by my sense organs. I'm feeling hungry, my head is paining, ear is paining, eyes are paining, this, that. But to come out of all this, now all this we cannot stop, right? Now, though I'm saying so many things to you, not you, not me. We are bound by this. Now, if I say no, now say for example, now 9 to 10 classes there, I'm assuming most of you will have your dinner also, or at 10 o'clock, maybe after the class is done, you will have your dinner, right? No, I don't want to have it all. Someone is going to have their dinner at 10 and you are very much hungry. You wait for me to, you say, okay, the class will get over at 10. Say, for example, it gets extended by 5 minutes or so. Immediately we look at the watch. Oh, I'm feeling hungry, when will the class end? Why does this happen? It's because I'm already hungry. My stomach is giving me a signal that, oh, I'm hungry, I have to put in inside something. My focus is hit. Or maybe there's some sound outside that is coming immediately in between. You go and check what, from where that sound is coming, what is happening. It is not related to us at all. But still, no sound is coming, I have to go. Or there is some smell that is, what sweet smell is coming, I have to go and check what it is. Or some burning smell is coming, immediately go and see what it is. Or someone is seeing something on the television or something, someone is coming and showing us something, immediately our focus on what you are seeing, come and show. It might not be related to us at all, It will be of no help to us at all, but still we see. So why such things do happen is a very, very simple reason for this is, like Bhattacharya says, this is human tendency. Our body, our sense organs, they keep pushing and pulling us here and there, but oh Lord, we cannot help it, right? It does happen. A sound comes in, I have to go and check, oh, what is there? Immediately my body will react. Or even if I don't physically go and get up, my mind is there. What sound is coming? What people are talking about? There is something that is coming. Why all such things happen is this is human tendency. So Bhattacharya says, oh Lord, you please accept this, but ultimately you please develop this quality also in me that I should be able to surrender to your feet. Finally, Dashakam 93 concludes by this obsession that is there to body, durvaraha, it becomes very, very difficult to remove. Like I told you, so many things. Sound comes in, something you see in front of us, we cannot stop, right? We have to react. So but please, you please rid me of all my ailments that are there, and you establish bhaktim dradishtam, you establish firm bhakti that is there in me. And this body that is there, this human body has Muktidam Vipradeham, this Brahmana body that I've got Vipradeham, I've got it after many births or so. It has been got to me to attain moksha. Therefore, you please don't put me down. Mama Kshipa Vishayarasi. You don't put me down by for making me fall into a trap of sensuous pleasures also. But O Lord of Guruvayur, you please save me. Pahimam Marutesha. You please save me from this, all these, you can say all these problems that are there, all my ailments also. So that, O Lord, I'll be able to focus on you and I'll be able to gain your grace. Shuddha Nishkama Dharmai Pravara Gurugira. Bhattacharya says that something which is very, very important in one's life is Guru. Guru Margam is not there, then it becomes very, very difficult. So he says, Shuddha Nishkama Dharme Pravara Guru Gira. Now there are many things that we know, many things are there in this world. So say for example about Narayaneeyam, yeah, I know there is a text called Narayaneeyam, but we need one person who is there in our lives who maybe introduced us to this text, or maybe who tells us, oh, this is a book, you please open and read it, and so on. Or maybe the Lord Himself, He pushes us, right? Now is the time that you have to read this. Why such things happen is that push that is there. Guru Gira, that is something which is very, very important. But Guru does not guide us, things become difficult. So, to know about your ultimate nature, oh Lord, I need the grace of one's Guru that is there. Now, this knowledge which is there, it comes from this the tradition of passing knowledge from one generation to another. It comes from the Guru Shishya Parampara, right? So, just as a fire, now here he gives an example of a fire and forest. Now you see a fire that is there, when it is burnt, fire is considered to be a symbol of purity. That's the reason all the rituals that we do for everything fire. We say Agni Sakshi, right? Fire is, it is believed to purify everything around. And so fire is like clear knowledge. Whatever comes in front of me is in a very pure form, and it ends up burning. Kantara Puri, it ends up burning forest full of ignorance, full of ajnanam. So knowledge that we get in the form of fire, just as a forest fire burns down the entire forest, similarly, the fire that is actually knowledge that is there, it burns down the entire forest of ignorance or ajnanam. But to do this, Guru Margam is something which is very, very important. So, oh Lord, you please bless me with a Guru, or you are the one only who are my Guru. Lord Bhattatri cries out to Guru Varappan and says that when the entire forest of Ajnanam is burnt up, at that time, the fire of knowledge that is there, it also builds it. That is, now say, for example, if you learn something, say, for example, someone introduces you to Narayaneeyam. Let's take our own example. Or about Dashakam 93, I told you. Now you see, most of us, you say, okay, I like the explanation, I'm able to understand. Automatically, you will say, no, 94 also I wish to, right? 94 again you join. Now say today we complete one, two more Dashakams, then I told tell you that no, tomorrow we will continue. Today, if you like and you feel, oh, I have gained some knowledge, let's not say even like. You learned something new also, you felt, no, this is something which I wish to know, and now I am familiar with this, I like this way. Automatically, you will come tomorrow, right? Why you come tomorrow? Because that interest comes in. But of course, if it is convenient. But say for example what I speak or so you could not understand, or you feel that no, I am not feeling that comfortable, you did not like it or so, or you feel no, all this is just useless, I didn't feel like it was a learning experience for me. you'll not come tomorrow, right? No, it's okay. Anyways, I didn't feel it's useful. So both points are correct, but that knowledge should be such that it should burn the Ajnanam, forest of Ajnanam. At the same time, it should be like fuel. Fuel is, you put the fuel, again the fire should keep burning more and more. That is, learning should never stop. Learning should be in such a way. These are all qualities of a guru, which Bhattatri very subtly, you can say very smartly, directly he doesn't mention, indirectly he tries to highlight and says that all such things have to be a guru. One should be blessed with such a guru in life that guru's duty is to develop interest in the minds of children. Now children or students who are disciples who are there, otherwise it is useless. If I'm telling you something, only if you find it useful you will come, right? Otherwise, no, something just useless, 1 hour I'm wasting my time or so, longing in sitting, something she's blabbering, everything is useless, you'll not come, right? But you feel that, I hope so all of you feel you feel that it is useful, you feel that okay, I'm learning something out or so, you feel 1 hour of your life, 1 hour of today you have invested in doing something good, only then we come tomorrow, right? So this is the same thing Bhattadri says, that knowledge, and this is the duty of a guru. And shishya, what is the duty of a shishya is verse number 2, he tells the learning that you have gained which has helped you to burn down the forest of ignorance, that should keep fueling up more and more. That means you should keep on adding more learning and knowledge, so that you keep learning new things and all the ajnanam vanishes away. So Lord, once I gain more knowledge, ultimately that all that knowledge should also end up in you only. I should be able to merge in you. Now, other than attaining the Lord, there are many other ways of removing sufferings also, like you have medicine, then you have the various steps of yoga that are there, then the 6 gunas which are there. Like this, there are many paths, there are Vedic paths which are told, and so on. But Bhattatri says that phalani apyavapta, even if by following all those methods also, even if I get results, but still at times what happened is, in arrogance, that is in ahankara, ego, mattaha tuam vismarantaha, I might forget you at all. And then again, it might put me down into a downfall. I'll end up suffering also. I'll give an example for this. Say there is something in life which happens, and then you maybe say for example there is an illness also. You take a medicine, that illness is fine, it goes away. Next time now, if the same illness comes, immediately you will take up the same medicine, right? Why you go for the same medicine? So no, you say no. Last time I had this disease, I ate this medicine, the disease went away. But say now you go to the doctor gives you one more medicine. From that medicine, say no, this illness does not go away. Next time we will never eat that medicine, right? Even if the doctor recommends the same thing, we'll say no. Last time also you had prescribed, I ate, nothing happened. Instead, more some side effects came, right? So we say no, this medicine I will not eat. Same is applicable for Bhakti Margam also. A very very beautiful comparison that is being done. All of us we say, right? There are many ways of showing bhakti, or many of us we do pariharam and things like that. And then someone will say, no, I for doing such some so and so thing, I did so and so thing, but no, I did not get results, everything is useless, right? Now say all of us also, ultimate reality is moksha, this that we say. And then no, I am also doing that thing, bhakti should build up in me, every day I'm doing, but no, I'm not getting my results. Someone told me you chant Narayaneeyam every day, so and so thing will happen. Till date it has not happened. Narayaneeyam is useless, burn the book away, keep it away. Do we do this? No. What we do is, so again the point is this way. You have to take the example of the medicine and the disease that I told you. Just because one medicine does not work for you doesn't mean that the path itself or the goal itself is wrong. You have to try some other way out. Or at times what happened is, the same medicine may be useful at some other time. Like we have something called a dosage that is there for medicine. Give an example for fever or so. What is the Dolo? I hope all of you are aware of Dolo, what you all eat. Dolo, right? For fever or things like that. The medicine that Dolo or paracetamol, whatever, right? So for the Dolo, you see there are certain doses that are Dolo 650, this, that, they tell, right? But let me not give an example of Dolo. I think there are many seniors here. You might be suffering from diabetes also. So you all need that medicines, right? So the tablets you see, for few people, they have to eat only half. Morning they will eat, afternoon they will eat. For some it is before food, some it is after food, and so on. Why so? Everyone is suffering from diabetes only. Of course, a type 1, type 2, that is different. But depending on each one's body, the medicine that is prescribed is different. Then you eat a particular medicine, you tell the doctor, oh, this is not suiting me. You see, sometimes people, those who are sugar, say they eat some sugar also. But some people, even though they have diabetes, whatever any sweet they consume, they will not be affected. But for some people, immediate reaction. Maybe their legs will start pricking or something like that happens, right? It depends. Why it happens is same sugar, same disease, but body structures are different. Reaction that is there is different. Same thing is applicable for karma bhakti also. Just because one path does not work for you doesn't mean that you have to call, oh, this is such a problem at all, should not exist. We don't start cursing the medicine, right? Very nicely, we go and tell the doctor very politely, oh, I don't know, doctor, why it is happening, but this is not working for me. Doctor also will not give you a, does he give you a reason? Do you ask a reason why this medicine did not work for me? Even if you ask, the doctor will give you only one reason, saying that maybe it did not suit your body. We also very nicely, we nod our heads, we come back, take the other medicine, we eat it. Now, here I'm not saying that we should not question one path or so, but when it comes to bhakti spirituality also, there are different paths, different ways that are there. Depending on each one of us, depending on the karma and the actions that we do, depending on what suits us, results will get. So he told that he is chanting entire Narayaneeyam, he attained moksha or he attained what he wished. I am also chanting entire Narayaneeyam, I am not getting, this Narayaneeyam itself is useless. I come to a conclusion. This should not happen. This is again not limited for spirituality or things like that, for anything that we do. Just because one thing does not work for you doesn't mean that the thing itself is useless. So here, Bhattatri in this verse tells that all other ways that are there. So the root cause, which is very, very important, is bhakti and shraddha. So the Lord, Bhattatri prays to the Lord that there are many ways. I might take some medicines also, I might practice some other ways, I might go on the yoga margam, I might develop bhakti. There are so many other things. But the root cause, all these other ways that are there, medicines, yoga and so on, that might fail. But this bhakti or shraddha, if that is not there, all these other parts are also useless. Therefore, O Lord, you please bless me with only bhakti and bhakti alone. Now, for whatever we do, shraddha is something which is very, very important. Shraddha is belief or hope, right? Shraddha, bhakti that we say. Why do we use these terms together? Say today you come, I tell you, we learn Narayana. How much ever I teach you, how much ever the grace of the Lord is there, how much ever you attend the class regularly, if you don't have that shraddha, that is a practice, or you do practice also, and the hope, and you that self belief that is that yes, I'm putting in effort, someone is teaching me, I am practicing, I will be able to chant, we're not able to do it, right? Then let the world come and do anything, whatever they want, still nobody will listen. If our self only is not ready to accept, and we don't have belief in us, we don't have that shraddha that is there, then everything is useless. So therefore, Bhattatri says that, oh Lord, you first bless me with bhakti, that is there. Bhakti and shraddha, that is something which is most important. All other things will then automatically fall in place. If I have shraddha that, okay, the doctor has given me this treatment also, I will follow. I believe that, I'll take it positively, then it will definitely work. But what, this doctor doesn't know anything, what a fool, like a fool, he has told me something to do. If we keep cursing the person also, no doubt it's not going to work, right? So therefore, Shraddha is something which is very, very important. Bhattatri prays to the Lord and says that if you bless me with Shraddha and Bhakti towards you, all my sufferings will go away and I will attain Mukti. Finally, he says that, is there any other world than your own world, Vaikuntha Lokam? Brahma is also afraid of time and he does not live in peace. That's now you see, Brahma is the name of a Padavi, right? So Brahma also actually gets changed. But so here Bhattatri gives an example of Brahma, and further he says that what to talk about human beings then. Brahma, you see, Brahma Lokam for Brahma, our 1 year or so is 1 day for Brahma. He resides in Satyaloka. And then but he also does not live in peace because one fine day he also has to go away, he will also get changed. So he says, Ka Katha Narakana. What is to say about human beings then? We keep very limited lifespan we have. In that limited lifespan also we keep accumulating sins also by doing a lot of other mikaryas also. That's when you just imagine how our lives will be there. Brahma, if he lives for thousands of years also, still it is said that he himself does not live in peace. He has to think what will happen now, next when will happen, what kind of creation I should do, this and that. So then Bhattatri tells what to talk about human beings then. We have a very short lifespan. In that we have to do many things also. So how many worries, how many tensions will come in, and in that how many wrongdoings I will end up doing. So therefore, oh Lord, you please cut me from all this bondage, attachment or so that is there. I want to be happy. I want to develop bhakti towards you. You please remove my sufferings. Further, he says that in reality, for me, O Lord, Patatri says, I am immersed. I have merged myself with you only. For me, it's just like I am dreaming also. This world that's me is totally Maya for me. And therefore, I have to just, the point is, if though today I am living in a physical body and I'm doing different kinds of things, that is all due to my karma, that's previous experiences. Because of that, I have the same results I'm facing now that I'm experiencing, I'm doing it. Maybe the suffering also that I'm having today is due to my previous karma. I have to accept it, I have to suffer. But Bhattatri says that physically, though I'm affected with that, my mind is totally focused on it. Now, here you see we have to think from Bhattatri's point of view. For the last 94 days of his life, he is suffering. There is no guarantee. Though the Lord is every day nodding his head, giving us assurance, saying that you please go out, please go ahead, what you're doing is right. But still, Bhattatri, the pain has still not reduced. In that pain, only Bhattatri is writing this entire text that is there in the premises. And finally, now towards the end, he talks about all these philosophical topics, he uses all these terms, and finally he says that, oh Lord, now also if you don't come and shower your grace on me, then how will bhakti develop in anyone? Right? So here now the least that we can do when we talk about all this, what the least that we feel is Bhattatri has put in so much of efforts to write this text. Finally, Guruvarapan gives him darshana, no doubt, and we are also blessed, right? Bhattatri has put in so much of effort, so much knowledge also he writes, that too in that suffering. Normally also someone tells us to write one line, we'll not be able to do. You imagine the plight of Bhattatri in that suffering without any hope. Hope was there, no doubt, but still, you see now 94 days are almost gone, right? People like you and me, 1 2 days we'll wait, third day we'll say, leave everything, I don't want to do all this, nothing is going to happen, I will see some other way. We leave and go. But the 3 year does not give up. 94 days continues, he is doing the same thing. Still, when the Lord will come, when the Lord will appear, when his sufferings will go away, there is no guarantee. Still, he writes the names of the Lord, and today this treatise, this text that is there, is blessed to all of us. So today, if you are reading about this text, if you are knowing about the meanings or so, we have to consider ourselves very, very blessed. Further, he says that what to talk about moksha also. Kim phalam jivan muktatvam evam vidimiti vachasa. Verse number 6. Bhattatri says, what to talk about this state of moksha, this, that also. It is very much far. Like for you and me also, we are having a body and things like that. I tell you that tomorrow, for all of us, we are going to attain moksha. Will a single person come? Nobody will come. I also will not come, right? Point is, we are all afraid, right? But therefore, Bhattatri says that all this moksha and things like that, for bodied souls, like people like me, becomes very, very difficult. So, Lord, you please bless me initially with bhakti only. Once you bless me with bhakti, moksha will automatically come. I don't have to worry about that. When death comes in, automatically I will be given moksha, I will be given a place in Vaikuntham, Rudralokam, whatever it is, based on my karma. But now what you can do is, you please bless me with bhakti, and bhakti also very easily and happily I will do. Suddenly someone comes and tells me tomorrow I'm going to give you moksha. You have to sit down like this in samadhi, you will go. Who will come? Nobody will come, right? But you bless me with bhakti, I'm ready to do whatever bhakti that is there. So, oh Lord, you please bless me with bhakti. You give me this thought that I should surrender all my actions to you and realize you by the and get the teachings from a guru. I should be able to Kinchit Guru Vachana Milad. I should be able to approach a guru, learn many things from him, and finally attain oneness with you. Bhattatri says that in this world, there are many people who are engrossed in the study of the Vedas, scriptures, this, that. That is too much. They get into the technicalities that are there, but they will not have even one, you can say, a bit of bhakti. Bhattatri says, I don't want to become like this. You don't teach me two things, it is okay. But whatever I learn, that should be full of bhakti. Now, today, I tell you some four, five things, this, that. You want to know about anything, but You don't have belief, you don't have Shraddha even in one, it is useless, right? Now, child also, say a child goes to school, 5, 6 subjects the child has to study English, math, science, social science, some language, and so on. Now, out of all these 6 subjects that are there, only one subject is of interest, right? No, but there is no option, you have to study. But only one subject is of more interest also. And then all the other subjects that are there, we have to study, no doubt, but there is no bhakti. There is no out of interest we don't do. Similarly, there are few people who are there. They will have lot of knowledge that they have, but there will be no bhakti in them at all. Bhattatri says, I don't want to fall in this category. I don't want to be a learned scholar also. That is fine. But whatever little I know, I should show ultimate bhakti towards you. And let me always read a text which talks about your leelas only. Tam navacham priyasam. Tam navacham. That scripture which does not talk about Divya Leela Avatara and your Rupam. That text which does not talk about the various incarnations, leelas also, does not talk about your form. Such a text I do not wish to read at all. Further, he says that you are but in the year, a very, very beautiful verse, verse number 8, Dashakam 94. Yo yavan yadrishova tvamiti kimapi nahi. He tells for many people, you might be this, you might be that, you might be supreme, you might be Brahman, you might be the universal reality, this, that, whatever people say. But for me, you are one who can be pleased by singing your songs, by talking about your stories, by speaking about your glories, and so on. So for me, I know only Bhakti Margam that is there. People will tell the Lord is this, Lord is that. For me, my Guruvayurappan who is there will be known by showing Bhakti only, Bhattatri says. And may I always worship you by singing your names, worshipping you, by surrendering at your feet, by reciting your names, and so on. So I am that one who will always see you in images. I'll touch the, and here he says that Priyajana Sadasam. I should also worship the people who are your devotees. There is nothing but the various sages or gurus also, or the fellow satsangis. Now, I don't know how many of you have experienced, but if you see, especially in North India also, if you attend the satsangam also, or in general, if you see, people will end up after that satsang, or in general also, if you see, people will end up touching the feet of each other. Have you ever seen this? Does it happen? Many places. Yes. Irrespective of whether a person is elder, younger, or so, all that doesn't matter, right? For a fellow satsangi who is there is a form of Lord Bhagavan himself who has come. That's the reason we have to touch their feet, or various Kanya pujas and things like that that we do. Why do we touch? Oh, this child is smaller than me, I should not do. We don't look at that way. Why we look at things is the child that is there, the child has to be worshipped in the form of the goddess only, or maybe various boys, Kumara Puja that we do. So why such things are there is Bhattatri says, for me, I know you as that Lord who is maybe in a small boyish form like small Gurvarappan who is there, but for me, I will always worship you, and at the same time I will worship Priyajana Sadasa. Those people who are dear to you, that is nothing but your own bhaktas who are there. Because for me, worshipping your bhaktas is also like worshipping you only. So from them also their good qualities or their satsangam merit I will also be able to gain. Finally he says, whatever that comes to me, O Lord, let that always be submitted to you like an offering. That is a very, very, you can say a very beautiful lesson. Yes, want to say something? No. So the Lord, what he tells, a very beautiful lesson here which he tells is, now many times in life what happens is we gain a lot, right? But when we get something, we don't offer that to the Lord. When we don't get something, we cry properly, right? So whatever little, let it be small or big, whatever we get, that should be offered to the Lord. And Bhattatri says, whatever comes to me, yat yat labhyet tat tava samuparitam devada sosmi teham. Whatever comes to me, O Lord, let me offer all that to you. I am your servant. May I always be in service to you. May I always worship you in the form of Surya, Agni, Brahmana, Atma, Adishu. In whatever forms that come in, let me worship you. May my love that is there for you, Tvat Prema Ardratva Rupaha, let my love and bhakti that I have inside me, let that always melt in my heart, so that devotion, Mama Satatam Abhishyandatam Bhakti Yogaha, my devotion that is there will always keep flowing like a stream or so, so that I'll be able to do more and more bhakti and seva to you. Further, last verse of Dashakam 94, by doing all this, I will attain supreme bliss by getting in union with you. And it is this state that is there is difficult to understand or to be attained by doing all kinds of charity and so on. Dana, homa, vrata, niyama, tapaha. By doing various kinds of charity, sacrifice, vows, disciplines, is that. Or maybe by following Sankhya Yoga Idurapam, by following various methods of Sankhya Yoga. The Gopikas who are there, they attained bliss by being attached to you only, and there are many devotees of you, O Lord, but the loving nature of the Gopikas is something which is highly regarded by you. I also want to be one like them. My bhakti also should develop like them only. May my devotion be more Dradaya Haragadan Krishna Vadalayesha. O Lord Krishna, O Lord of Guruvayur, you please develop, you please grow up bhakti in me and kindly remove all my sufferings. With this, Dashakam 94 comes to an end.